I got it. It just says like, they're gonna record you. Do you got it, or you want to leave the meeting? This time I'm like,
I think I'll stay.
I'm gonna get it this time.
So I do have a fun story from the shop this week.
Ooh.
I will share that now.
As he takes a big steps, like, I'm gonna share this. Glug glug glug.
Building anticipation. Okay. So Halloween weekend, I had a sale at the shop. And Tuesday, this guy came in and he was from out of town, and he was like, hey, if I were to like get a lot, would you cut me a deal on back issues? I was like, well, I just had a sale over the weekend, so I'll just honor that sale for you. And I told him what the sale was, which was like 20% off all back issues. He's like, okay, sounds good. So he's going through and he's picking out a bunch of stuff. He's got 2 fat stacks up on my counter. It's like, all right, I'm ready to go. Like, all right. I ring everything up and apply the discount, and I let him know. And came out to about $400. And he was like, oh, and that's like way more than I thought it was going to be. I'll take these. And he hands me like 10 single issues. He's like, I'm sorry,
Nice.
I'll have to put all these back. I'm like, all these books have stickers with the price on them, and I told you what the discount was. Where's the confusion? What did you think 20% meant?
It's like, well, here's the thing. I don't know how percentages work.
So yeah, he was like, oh, it's 400 with the 20. This would have been 500. I was like, yep. So, the whole time he's paying, he just kept apologizing. And I just wanted him to shut up, right? Because what else can I say? It's like, oh, don't worry about it, man. It's cool. I love putting all this shit back. Like, what do you want me to say? It was really, I'm glad it was the end of the day, man. That was like 10 minutes to close because I was done, checked out. I was like, I can't even put these back today. I'll get them in the morning.
I just picture him because like he's like, oh, I'll put them back, and then like you just like go back and they're all like in Hawkeye section, but it's like none of them are Hawkeye.
Here's the thing, Casey, it was almost that bad because when I'm going and putting these books back, all the sections fucked. Like I have on my labels, I have if it's first, second, third, fourth series. They're all intermixed.
Yeah.
It's like he did it on purpose, dude. It took me to put back those 2 stacks of books, easily took me a full hour. And I know that store like the back of my fucking hand.
Yeah. He was from a Comic Connection across the street, and he's like, I'm gonna fuck with these guys.
It was so fucking agitating.
I bet, dude. That sounds pretty rough.
I was like, oh man, this is $400 on a Tuesday. Like, this is a good start to the week. And then I should have known better.
Yeah, dude. $400 on a Tuesday sounds like a country music song.
Yeah, well, maybe I should write it then.
You should. I mean, you got the like the upset stuff. You're like, I thought I had a sale. I don't really know how country music goes.
So anyway, fun stuff.
Now, I have a question that I've been curious about. Since like as a comic book shop, you're always getting like new shit, like with your back issues, do you kind of like rotate them? Like, because I know you guys got stuff in the back. Do you ever just go like, I think I'm gonna be taking out this group of books and moving out, bringing in this other stuff that's in the back or whatever?
No, I mean anything that's in the back is just overstock. Um,
I gotcha.
John and I put so much time during COVID. There was those couple of months where it was whatever iffy, and we brought everything out front and we're like, let's just see what needs to go out. Like we've been talking about doing this for years. It's just time to do it. Um, so in anything that's back there is that there's nothing new
I
anymore. It's
gotcha.
just restocks, and then occasionally we'll get something in and it's like, oh, I think we have the rest of this in the back. We can make a bundle out of it now.
Right on.
So yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you first got that place and we would like randomly go through boxes and like, holy crap, this is awesome. What's this
Mm-hmm.
back here?
I know. The thing is like stuff back there, like let's say it was a cool 80s key issue. It had been back there since the 80s just
Yeah.
because I knew how the old employees would talk about stuff. So yeah, that was always fun. And I mean it's still fun because like with all these shows and movies, key issues are popping up all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
It's like, oh well, I might have it back there. I'll go look and see. And so that's still fun. But
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for when the Disney Plus D-Dog show comes out because I got the first issue, first
hell
appearance
yeah.
of D-Dog.
Never say never, man. All right, ready for the Mad Lib?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
We got Scooby Doo today.
Dude, speaking of, before we got on, I had when I was waiting, I started watching the new Death Battle, and it's Scooby-Doo versus Courage the Cowardly Dog. So it should be fun.
It is fun.
So
I
Scooby like because he's a Great Dane, just ripping up like just shaking the little Courage dog apart.
I don't think here. I don't really like that one if I'm honest, because I don't think Scooby would do a death battle.
No, I have a feeling it's gonna be more like, oh, hey, we're friends. Because yeah, they do that every once in a while, the twist endings. So it's
Right.
gonna be something like
And
that.
like Courage will like pull out a bazooka or some shit.
Yeah.
Like Scooby doesn't do anything like
Yeah.
that.
Scooby doesn't stand a chance except for he's a Great Dane.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. You have to tell me who wins.
Yeah.
All right. An animal.
Uh D-O double G dog.
Adjective.
Smelly.
Adjective.
Stinky.
No,
Dang it.
you're not doing that shit today.
Shitty.
A verb.
Um Jump.
That's not where I thought that was going.
I know. I like to throw you a curveball.
Plural noun.
Pizzas.
Person.
Jake.
Adjective.
Handsome. Hoping it's about you, buddy.
Part of the body.
Oh man. Ah, what part of the body could I go with?
Lots of choices.
Yeah, like arm. No, but not the arm. The leg. Now, let's go with the schlong.
I was already writing it. Big ol' schlong. Verb.
um, flip.
Adverb.
Grotesquely.
Man, making me spell a big word today.
I mean, So, like the way I look at it, you know what the word is, so just like try your best. You don't have to spell it correctly.
Yes, I do. You know me better than that.
Fair enough. Like, because anytime I have notes and it's just like close enough, like no one's seeing this but me. There's this, oh, dude, I think I might have sent this to you. But there was this meme where it's like, why? It's like the two girl memes, and underneath is like the two muscular dudes with the beards, talking, and like the girl's like, why does he just say I'm always hot? Why doesn't he say something better? And then like the other guy's like, hey, is this how you spell Gorgoricus? And it's like, I don't fucking know.
Oh, I love that, dude. But I also think that format is usually pretty top tier.
Oh yeah.
Oh, a number.
Ooh. 12.
The only time in the history of our Mad Libs is it not 69?
I know, man.
Noun.
Um Dragon Balls.
Noun.
Shit.
What was it?
Shit.
Shit. Okay. Plural noun.
Um Balls. Whatever kind you want.
Adjective.
Oh, scaly.
Adverb.
Hurriedly.
Verb.
Fuck.
Okay.
What?
Meet Scooby. Sure, he's just a D-O-double-G dog, but the team wouldn't be smelly without Scooby-Doo. He's friendly, shitty, and always willing to jump a friend. Scooby knows that his
Picture like Shaggy just walking. Scooby's like, I'm gonna fucking get him.
Scooby knows that his pizzas depend on him, so he's always there for Velma, Fred, Daphne, and especially Jake. Scooby-Doo has a handsome sense of smell. His big old schlong can follow almost any trail to flip what they're looking for. Like all dogs, Scooby is grotesquely hungry. Whether it's a Scooby snack or a 12-foot high sandwich, this dog is always on the prowl for a little Dragon Ball. Scooby might be a shit who runs away at the first sign of balls, but somehow he always catches the scaly guy in the end. So the next time you're in trouble, just hurriedly fuck Scooby-Doo, where are you?
I don't know if we should hurriedly fuck Scooby Doo.
Agreed.
Who? Okay, here's a quick question. Who was your favorite Scooby Doo like monster? I know they weren't monsters, but
I mean, one of the ones that always comes to mind, and I don't even remember if this was like a particularly good episode, but it was like the deep sea diver guy.
oh yeah,
He was
yeah.
always kind of creepy.
I think he's cool as shit. For me, I like the one that like now I think is a cool ass design is the ghost with the chains.
Mm-hmm.
I think he looks cool, and then the space ghost guy.
Yeah, that one probably is the right answer.
Yeah, it looked really really cool.
And
I
made a cool sound too.
Yeah, the the funniest sounding one was the the one where it's the like the tribal guy. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. Space Kook was that guy.
Oh, okay.
The atomic skull looking dude.
Yeah, dude was awesome.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Oh wait, do we have a?
I
Yeah,
do.
you do.
Yeah.
All right, hit it.
What's up, everybody? Is Casey with Two Worlds Podcast, and with me, as always, is the chickadee to my Chinese chicken. It's Jake. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great. Good song. I
It
like that
is.
one. It's a good one.
Thanks, man.
I don't know how you're gonna end on that, but
Oh, I mean, maybe we just have a drumstick and our brain stop ticking, and watch the X Files with no lights on, all maze on. It's a really spooky one this time.
maybe. Maybe you just shot your wand right there and you'll have
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah. I mean, it kind of got away from me towards the end because I'm like, I don't know the words after this part. I'm just kind of making up. I know they said something about X Files.
Well, Monday Night Football, dude. All right, good stuff. Tonight we've got the Los Angeles Chargers versus the New York Jets.
Okay, so the other day I was in the tractor and I didn't have my phone on, like I wasn't able to plug my phone up, so I was listening to ESPN radio, and they always talk about football, and they're talking about how the Chargers are a disappointing team. So I'm gonna go with the Jets
All right.
because they've been good without Aaron Rodgers, and he may come back according to this ESPN radio.
They've been okay without Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. I wouldn't say good.
Okay.
But their quarterback gets a lot of hate for some reason.
Yeah.
All right. Moving right along.
Well, who do you got? Come on.
I mean, I just saw the score and it's not close.
Well, tell me.
Okay, well, it's 17-3 Chargers. So
Oof. Good thing Aaron Rodgers is going to come in. He's going to tag in and win in the game.
I know, right? Moving on to our trivia. You know how it works. I have 3 cards with 2 questions each. Casey will give you a few seconds pause before he answers, and we'll see if you get it right. First question, Casey, true or false? When the 2 teams are set up in the Secret Wars, Magneto is placed alongside the heroes.
True. I've never read Secret Wars,
but
true. Yeah, but I was like, I think that happened in the cartoon adaptation of it.
He didn't want the world to end, so he helped. Question 2. It's multiple choice if you need it, but let's see if you know it. Who kidnapped Betty Ross and subjected her to gamma radiation, creating the Harpy?
I should know this because Al Ewing actually brought that back around, so I should. I have a really solid guess because it's it's fair to just guess this guy every single time something bad happened to the Hulk. So
let's hear it.
I'm going with the leader.
No, but that is one of the options.
Ah, shoot.
We've got the leader, Maestro, MODOK.
Oh, it was MODOK?
It was MODOK.
Okay.
Question 3, true or false? Daredevil's costume originally was red, black, and white.
False.
What colors was it? 3.
3? I mean, yellow and other colors.
Yellow.
I'm colorblind, bud.
Yellow, black, and red.
Oh, okay. I remember reading a panel from that original one where Murdoch, he was like, I can tell what color this is because of my powers, and he was able to touch and sense the colors because it was Stanley science.
Yeah, that sure doesn't make sense.
In all fairness, it's it makes as much sense as most comic book science at that time, and especially before, Jay Garrick I got super speed because of hard water or something like that. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't think that's how that works, bud.
All right, question 4. What heroine's identity did Skrull Empress Veronka assume during the secret invasion?
It would be Wasp.
Incorrect.
Oh, it's not?
Your options are Elektra, Mockingbird, Spider Woman.
Oh, Spider Woman. I knew it was I actually knew, I did know that because I remember, but yeah.
I tried to pick some tricky ones today, make it a
Yeah.
little more fun. Question 5. What Marvel villain steals the body from the grave of Charles Xavier, infuses his brain to Professor X's brain?
It is Red Skull.
It is Red Skull. Nice.
I actually read that issue.
I would not have known that.
I really thought you were reading because that was Uncanny Avengers that happened in. I thought you were reading that
No,
book.
no. I had like less than 5 issues of that book.
Yeah, it was like the first arc. So because I know we were like kind of reading it at the same time. So.
Yeah. That would have been the Remender stuff, right?
Yep.
And finally, question 6. Who teaches Spider-Man martial arts, specifically the way of the spider?
Dong, the big dong she.
It is Shang-Chi. Nicely done.
Thank you, sir.
All right. We have no comments or anything like that. But hey, if you guys want to hear me tell a ridiculous work story, and our latest Mad Lib, you can hear both of those things over on our YouTube channel. Some guy was a real piece of work to me this week, and I give you a lowdown on it if you want to know. So check out the YouTube.
And hey, maybe it was you. Maybe you went into the shop and you were like, been, just like, oh man, Jake probably was so mad. And like, there's another voice in your head going, yeah, he's probably fine with it. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he's complaining about you.
He
You won't
definitely
know.
was. He
You won't
definitely
know until you
was.
listen.
All right, news time. I've got some like really small ones that I can rattle off here. Blade, the movie, confirmed to be rated R. So now everybody can shut the hell up about it.
I
Any
also
thoughts on
heard
that?
well, I also heard that Marsha Ali, or how you say the dude's name, was like getting mad and was about to leave over all the writing and all of that nonsense that's going on. So it's like,
I heard that too, but then he decided that he was fine with whoever they settled on or whatever.
yeah. I'm just like, it's crazy to me that movie's having so much trouble when Marvel's like, we can churn out anything, people will see it. So it's like, this it had to be really bad.
Yeah, I agree. And then another little thing. So Gareth Edwards, he did 2014 Godzilla.
Yep.
He saw Godzilla -1 early and said, quote, one of the best Godzilla movies ever. So
I've
any
I've
thoughts on that, Casey?
I've been hearing the same thing, and I also heard him say this is like what he wished he could have made, which it's like, I mean, I'm not surprised because like I've heard this one, it's gonna be like a more political one and like that, deal with like more serious issues. And it's like you can't be doing that with an American Godzilla film. So like I get where he's coming from with that because he made a movie, like the movie that got him Godzilla was like, this movie that I think it was like very heavily like, oh, immigration type stuff, and it was just supposed to be good. But so yeah, I could see him thinking that, and I'm pumped for it, and I've heard good things so far, and I'm trying to stay away from hearing more than just people saying it's good, because I, don't want any spoilers. But
For
yeah,
sure.
I think it, as a Godzilla nerd like he says he is, it's like, yeah, it makes sense that he'd like it. Are you excited about it though? Because you
Very.
like Gareth Edwards more than me. You like 2014 more than me. So does that,
I did.
hype you up more?
Yeah, I mean, I was already pretty hyped. Whether he likes it or not, like I'm still the same amount of hyped.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Do one.
Speaking of something that you're hyped about, I can already tell House of Dragons is returning the summer of 2024. So,
About fucking time.
yeah.
I was actually just talking about that with my lovely lady because we didn't know if, with all the stuff going down, if it was going to get delayed more than it already was because it came out in 2022. So,
So I heard something about that, and it could be bullshit, but like they were like the main problem with that show is it just costs a lot to make. And it's not like the striking stuff didn't have much to do with it, because those actors are British actors and they are SAG, and they, like, so like it's like, they have a different union basically, so like they were actually able to be doing that stuff and it wasn't a big issue. But
nice.
yeah, like with that show, it just seems like it's a lot of money, and then I bet they're gonna be like 6 episodes.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Hoping for 8 or 10, but we'll see.
Yeah,
It'll probably be 8. But man, I really love that first season. I can't wait for the next one.
I hope it's good for you, buddy.
It's like, man, Matt Smith is real fucking cool in it.
Yeah,
Love that guy.
I love him too, and it's like it's weird him being a cool character though, and I mean this with the utmost respect, but he's got a weird face,
He does.
so him being like a cool badass is odd.
Yeah. Um, all right. I'll group these two together. Couple of Marvel rumors. Well, three things, I guess. First one, Disney apparently wants to bring back the original Avengers cast for another movie. And then after I typed that, I saw that old RDJ is like all but confirmed to return.
Yeah, I mean, you knew it was coming. Like,
They want more money. They want $1
yeah,
billion.
they kind of realized they did a shitty job of building up the new characters.
Yeah.
Like that, I mean, it's like they did, like when they introduced Falcon, they're like, yeah, this guy sucks compared to Captain America. Like in his like, and then they're like, he's the new Cap.
Yeah.
And then, and yeah, so they've just done such a shitty job of building up these new guys that they're like, well, I guess we'll just go the old reliable.
Which I mean, whatever. I think if I loved Infinity War and whatever the other one was, Endgame, I think I would be a little bit bummed because then it sort of undoes like the finality of those movies, I guess, the first phase. Um, but whatever. It's
I
like,
mean, but it's comic books.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I
I
really did think that some of those people, like, that was it for them. So,
like, yeah, I mean, I just think they've really backed themselves into a corner, because people like Iron Man, and they should have from the start been like, this is more like James Bond, where it's like, we're just gonna cast a new one of each of these actors all the time, because believe it or not, people, actors age, and Chris Evans can't be Captain America forever.
yeah, yeah. I mean, gosh, only guys like Stallone and Arnold can be that jacked forever, right?
I mean, I would just say Stallone. Arnold's like nowhere near, like he's still like
He's not Stallone level, but he was still pretty fit in
He's,
Expendables.
I mean, he is, and like, he is still fit, but it's like Stallone's got I would say Arnold, since he had heart issues, he's not on the supplement cocktails that Stallone's on. So he's more normal than he used to be.
Yeah, for sure. And then two other things to tie into that. First one, Marvel is talking about replacing Kang with Doctor Doom moving forward after all the Jonathan Majors stuff. Again, just a rumor, really. Who knows what's going to go on with all that? But um, I feel like I still haven't seen Quantumania. Even average Joes were like, I didn't really like it. I thought it kind of sucked. So I think they kind of fumbled the ball with Kang. And if they go forward with Doctor Doom, I won't be too surprised.
Well, like, I'll say this, and I didn't see it either, but I mean, Kang, like, you go from Thanos to Kang, that's like being like, and you're gonna think this is blasphemy, but it's like someone gives you a Milky Way, and then they're like, here's some Brussels sprouts. I mean, you're the only person out there that's like, ooh, I'm going up in the world. Everyone else is like, oh, just started me with the Brussels sprouts.
I don't
But
disagree. I mean, I think Kang is a cool bad guy. Um,
I wouldn't build a whole, like, try to like build him up. Like, he's like an Ultron level, like trying to do all this stuff. We're like, yeah, this is we're doing everything with Kang. It just doesn't work for me. But I mean, what's stupid is like he's so easy to recast since they are trying to lean heavy into the multiverse of Kangness. They could easily just be like, oh, look, here's the tough one that doesn't get ate by ants, like the one in Quantumania. This is the one we're worried about. He's Michael B. Jordan now, or whatever, like whatever actor they want to use.
mhm, I agree. I want to get some firm casting news on some Fantastic Four stuff and some X-Men stuff because I don't even know who I was talking to the other day about it, but they're like, with all this stuff not going as well as like the original Avengers cast stuff, like where do they go from here? Like, well, Fantastic Four and X-Men are perfectly good, new, fresh stuff that they can do. We just need all this shit to end so they can carry on with it.
So with X-Men, I heard a rumor like a while back that they're going to use the Fox X-Men characters until after Secret Wars. Like that's gonna be like the canon one, or the Fox ones. And after Secret Wars, it's like that universe will then officially be done. And we're gonna get this new one, and that's gonna reboot stuff so they can then work in the X-Men and mutants and stuff.
What a good segue, Casey, because the last bit of my rumor here was that Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman are rumored to be the leading Avengers in Secret Wars.
I mean, that's fan service and it might work, but like I don't see how it's going to work too well, because it's like I don't think they could lead them, because you're gonna have, like, because Toby would be the stick in the mud, and Wolverine's the cool rogue, and then you're gonna have Iron Man, the other cool rogue, and then you're gonna have Chris Evans, Captain America, the other stick in the mud. It's like I don't think it's gonna work if that actually happens.
I mean, not to kind of be a basic bitch, but I would fall for that fan service. I kind of want to see it.
No, I mean, I found out whenever I saw that newest Spider-Man movie, I would absolutely fall for that fan service. I'm just saying, I don't think it would work, but I'm about it.
Mhm.
Like, just seeing them again, but like just the way that you could do that storytelling, unless they're like, what I think could be cool is like if the different universes have to fight each other. That could be
Yeah,
interesting.
I agree.
Um, so Superman and Lois is officially ending with season 4. Kind of too bad because like people really liked it, but at the same time, there's no point in having a Superman show if that Superman isn't gonna be your Superman going forward, in the universe. Or you're trying to make all this extra stuff, and you're like, we're also having this show too that's not connected to anything. We've kind of learned people aren't the brightest, so they're like, hey, what's this? Why? How's Superman doing this? He's got kids and a wife. When in this other one, he doesn't have a wife. So you got to make things very simple for him.
I think that it's a little surprising that it went on as long as it did. And
Yeah, well,
and I'm not even crapping on it because I know people liked it, but you know how CW is.
yeah. Well, I mean, I put 100% of the blame on the actor that played Superman. He very much was super damn likable, and that helped a lot.
Yeah. All right. So Disney is going to buy full control of Hulu for $8.61 billion.
It's crazy that they can afford to do that, but they can't afford to pay their actors.
Well, it's because they were saving up for this big
Yeah,
purchase, bud.
yeah.
Yeah, I
My
don't know.
my subscription better not go up anymore.
It will.
Yeah, I
Guarantee it.
know. I know. Um, Gargoyles is getting a live action series for Disney Plus. I know you are the Gargoyles fan of this group, so you pretty pumped.
I'm decently pumped. I want to see a trailer, but like it's something that I want to like.
Yeah. My one thing is like, I wonder how they're going to be doing the Gargoyles.
What do
Like,
you
is it
mean? Like CG or
CG, practical, kind of a mix of the two? Because like doing that on a TV show on a streaming platform like Disney might not be very good.
yeah.
Because I mean, I didn't watch She-Hulk, but I saw clips, and the way Disney had their CG people working wasn't the best looking show.
I agree with that completely. I don't
And
know.
then I'll mention this last bit before we talk about your last bit. The Penguin is now delayed from spring 2024 to fall 2024 due to the strike. But with the way the strike is still going on, it might get delayed again. Like I love how like this report was like, it's gonna still come out in 2024, guys. It's like we don't know that.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that's one I want to see pretty bad, honestly.
Yeah.
I need to get their shit together. Okay, then my last bit, we got a trailer for Echo that dropped this week. Did you check it out?
I did. It was like because as soon as I watched it, I was about to put it in the notes, and you beat me to it.
Dude, I got pretty strong Netflix Daredevil vibes, if I'm
Yep.
honest.
No, it was great. Like it for those that didn't watch, it very much looks like a Kingpin show with Echo also in it. Which,
Yeah,
if you watched Daredevil, it's not a bad thing.
yeah. The part that I want to talk about the most, because it was the coolest part. And I don't know, I guess spoilers if you don't want to hear anything about it. But we see Child Echo try to order ice cream from like a street cart in New York. And the guy's being a big dickhead about it. He's like, I don't understand you. Making nonsense hand motions. And we see Kingpin watch this go down. And then he follows that guy into an alley and beats him pretty much to death. And it's like, fuck yeah. Like I want this show right now. I think it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. No, I mean that actor that plays Kingpin is just so darn good. So this is just it's got me hyped. It's also like made me hyped for Daredevil if it ever comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. It just had that feel so much that I was like, man, my recent feelings about the ups and downs of that show's production it's still hard not to be excited.
Yeah.
All right. And that is it for the news. Casey got his comic books, just before we started the podcast, so he did not get to read them. Maybe one of these days you'll get another episode where we both have comics to talk about. But
Well, maybe if I don't get home around like 8 o'clock, when like that stops happening, and they
true,
do come in on a Monday, I can just read them anyway.
true. All right. I read Doctor Strange 9, Godzilla Here There Be Dragons 5, Canary number 1, Savage Red Sonja number 1, The Nasty number 4, and The Sacrificers number 4. All right. First up, we got The Sacrificers. It's written by Rick Remender with art by Max Fiumara. It was really good. I think it gets better every issue. I thought the last issue was the best one, and then I read this one and decided this was the best one. I don't want to talk about it because if you're not reading it, it just nothing will matter or make sense. But the world building continues to improve every issue, as does the characters and the interactions. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Next, we've got The Nasty. It's written by John Lees with art by Adam Cahoon. I'm not a big fan of the art. The story is still very good. Some like even weirder stuff is happening with Red. Red, is that his name?
I think so, yeah.
The friend Red Ennis. That's what
Yep.
it is, Red Ennis. Which has me very, very much still hooked. So looking forward to the next issue. It felt like it had been a little while since The Nasty came out, so I was happy to read it this week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it an 8. Next, Savage Red Sonja number 1. It's written by Dan Panosian with art by Alessio Patillo. Again, not a big fan of the art, except the cover. The cover is so good because Dan Panosian is a really good artist.
Mhm.
I don't know if he's that great of a writer, man. I didn't think that this was that great,
Really?
which sucks. Like, Sonya's traveling with these two, and then a big sand, I'll call it a sand kraken, pops out of the ground, and Sonya just sort of like freezes up and gets nearly choked to death, and then the dude that's traveling with them saves the day. And it's like, I don't want the guy to save the day. I want Sonya to save the day because it's her book.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm gonna read the next one, obviously, because I have to. But this was just not a strong first issue for me, so I'm gonna give it a 4.
Oh, damn.
It's just the story wasn't intriguing and the art is bad in my opinion. So
Yeah.
okay, then we've got Godzilla Here There Be Dragons number 5.
Is that the final issue?
Yep.
Okay.
It's written by Frank Thierry with art by Inaki Miranda. And it's fucking cool, dude. It was a really good ending to this story. Art, I think, was pretty solid. I really liked the end and how it wrapped up. I don't want to spoil anything, but dude, after you read it, like text me because I want to talk about it.
All right.
But it wraps up the pirate stuff pretty well, and you get to see Godzilla just whoop the shit out of 2 monsters at once, which is just rad as hell. It was one of the best issues, if not the best issue of the series. So I'm going to give it a 9, and probably the series overall a 9. I mean, if someone comes in the shop looking for Godzilla, I'm going to put this in their hands. I think it's great.
Right on. Dude, that reminds me, on Godzilla Day, there's like 2 new short films. one's like a they're both continuations from like the last 2 years of Godzilla Day, but like there's one where he fights Megalon, and that one's like CG, and then there's one where it's the suitmation stuff, and it's him versus Jet Jaguar, and they're both pretty awesome. The Jet Jaguar one's like kind of hilarious, but really, but cool at the same time, and then the other one's just pretty fucking cool, even though the
Yeah.
CG's like hit and miss in spots, but it's like, what do you expect from a short film for Godzilla Day,
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think the next Rivals is going to involve Jet Jaguar in
That's
some
awesome.
capacity. All right, Doctor Strange #9. It's written by Jed McKay with art by Pascal Ferry. It was pretty cool. Art was strong here. There's lots of like colors and magic as the two Stevens fight. Clea gets mixed up with one of General Strange's minions. Pretty neat stuff. Unfortunately, the last page says to be concluded. So I guess we're only getting 10 issues of this series.
Or could that just be the arc, hopefully?
I want to believe so, but dude, remember what I was telling you about with that Al Ewing thing. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know because the title of this, it's called Nebraska Part 1. So I don't know. Maybe it is just the arc and it's just a two-part arc, but that
Yeah.
doesn't make sense because it's still dealing with General Strange.
Yeah. Maybe it's gonna be like the series is over, it goes into this big event, and then it comes back and starts a new number one, since Marvel's known for that.
Could be, but I feel like that's tired with Strange. We had Death of, we had his Strange, and now it's Doctor Strange. We're gonna get a fourth one.
Buddy, it's tired just in general with Marvel.
I know, but still. All right. My final book. It's called Canary. It's written by Scott Snyder with art by Dan Panosian. This book was awesome. It's basically a supernatural Western with some creepy elements to it. I think Scott Snyder kind of excels in that category. And then you get Dan Panosian's art, which is great. So, in case he didn't ask for it, I gave him one anyway because I just wanted someone else to read it and talk about it. So I'm looking forward to what you think of it, dude. And if you don't like it, it's whatever. I just feel like it's a good for me book.
Yeah.
But I know you like Scott's other stuff. I mean, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's like American Vampire. It's not, but it's got the same feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha. Now, at your shop, is like Scott the type of like writer that people are like, yeah, I just need this new Scott Snyder book, or is it not so much anymore? Because
Not
he's
so
cooled down a
much
bit.
anymore, but he definitely still has his fans. It's just
Yeah.
not like, it's not like Tom King,
Yeah.
trying to think of another one that people will just pick up no matter. Donny Cates. It's not like one of those, but
I gotcha.
like if we have a tier, he's at the bottom of the upper tier.
I gotcha, man.
Um, yeah, I like this a lot. I will definitely be picking up the next one. So I'm gonna give it probably a 10. I can't think of anything I didn't really like, and it's definitely my
Nice.
pick of the week.
Nice. So, really quick before we go into what we're excited about, I do want to mention I read my books for last week came in on Friday. So I read all of those except for Flash. I just really quick want to talk about Alpha Flight and complain about it, and it's like, this is more like, I'm not complaining about the writing because like they're doing everything they can with what they are able to do, but like, so we've had like one series that, like Alpha Flight series that came out, I think in like 2013 was when it finished. And then we had that one shot that like kind of continued stuff from that series. And it's like basically the way that series ended, Heather Hudson fucking went bananas and she had her kid and they ran off to, run away from the apartment H, basically. And like, they had broke some laws and they're like, oh, we're just escaping. And then in the one shot, Heather Hudson is living in this house with her kid, and Guardians, they're basically, she got captured by Department H, and she's just, but she doesn't know she's captured. And then in this, the cover's awesome. I don't have it with me, but it's like it's the type of cover that I love, where it's like, oh, so and so's unmasked. Everyone's like, like shocked, and it's like, yeah, I mean, they've already kind of built up like, who could be Nemesis this whole time, and like in that cover, I'm like, yeah, I kind of confirmed it's Heather, and then sure enough, it's revealed it's Heather. So it's like, I know like you can't just be like, oh, these 5 years in between each of these, little bit of Alpha Flight things. I'm not complaining about them. I'm complaining about Marvel for not letting us get more shit on this character, because it's just like, oh, well, there she is. Where's her daughter? Who knows what's going on with this stuff? Who knows? So it's just a bit annoying,
They should have had another arc to wrap up that stuff back in the
right?
day.
Yeah, it just seemed like the person that wrote the one shot was like, I'm an Alpha Flight fan and I want to at least get some closure for this, because I don't know when the next time we're gonna see anything about this is gonna be, type of thing. And then this person is also like, yeah, I'm gonna introduce Heather, and hopefully they'll talk about what happened, but still it's just kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But what are you excited about, man, in the coming week?
Um, I'm gonna say Birds of Prey 3, Sonic the Hedgehog 66, and man, honestly, it's kind of light for me. I might say the old what if Dark Tomb of Dracula.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing, Dark Ride, and TMNT versus Street Fighter. Okay,
Nice.
so as I was in the old tractor, I just listened to podcasts all day every day, and this had me thinking about, because they mentioned a comic book that's actually in my list for this, but I was just wondering, for you, Jake, what are four comics you want for your collection, but you're not really concerned about? Like, they're not grails. They're just like, wow, this would be cool.
Um, well, one is a grail, but I'm still not concerned. That's Journey into Mystery 83. And I'm not concerned because I'm probably never gonna have it.
Our one listener is like packing it up, like, oh, he's not concerned about it. Well, I guess I'll just wait to give this to him.
um, and then another one is, I mean, just so bonkers, never going to happen. And that's All Star Comics 3, which is the first appearance of the JSA. It's like, why would I be concerned? There's never going to be a time where I'm like, oh, maybe I can pull the trigger on this right now. You know what I mean?
You're at a comic book convention, they have it, slabbed and graded. You're like, ooh, only $100,000.
I know, right? Um, okay, and then let's see. I've got Brave and the Bold 1 for Viking Prince. I know it's kind of silly to want a book that shares three stories for one character, but I don't know. That's one that I think I could come across, but still it's not like such a grail compared to others.
Yeah, that sounds like one that you would have like ran over at your shop at one point and sold, and like kind of regret it, type of thing too.
Yeah, no, I actually, the only two issues of Brave and the Bold that featured those three I did take in their cover list. So
Oh shoot.
um yeah, and then my last one, Knuckles Chaotix #1 from 1995. I just can't seem to track that fucker down, but I know that if I ever find it, that's gonna be like a $50 one that I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I can do it.
Yeah. Okay, So for me, I'm gonna go in like descending order. So Incredible Hulk 454 through 457. And I actually had these issues, but like they would have been like it would have came out in 97. So they were not well taken care of. But basically, 454, Hulk fights I think Wolverine, and then the next issue he fights, and Wolverine beats him, and then he fights. He like Wolverine takes him to the mansion. You know, the mansion. Everyone's like, he's gonna destroy the mansion. You know that, don't you? He's like, oh, he's not gonna destroy the mansion. Then Hulk wakes up, fights the whole X-Men, destroys the mansion. And then the next one, he gets like taken over by Apocalypse, and that's where you get War Hulk, which is like the coolest looking Hulk design.
Is that where half his face is purple?
No, this is like his face is like a black mask. He's got like a whip and a sword. He fights Juggernaut and Absorbing Man.
Okay, not what I was thinking. I need to Google this.
Yeah, it's the one downside though is like when you try to Google War Hulk now, World War Hulk comes up instead a lot of the times. But type in like Apocalypse War
Well,
Hulk
one
maybe.
one of the first thing that popped up was Warhulk versus Juggernaut.
Oh, okay,
So,
so that still might be because he fought him in World War Hulk too.
mm,
But so yeah, that one is that's like one of the big things that I had that as a kid. It was super cool. And yeah, such a cool design. And then the Mighty Thor 34 and 35. So I had issue 34 when I was a kid, never had issue 35, but it's basically you have Thor fighting Gladiator, and it's like a future Gladiator. It's pretty cool. And I was never knew how it ended. So, I didn't have money for it the first time.
I think that was old Dan Jurgens era, if I
I think so.
remember right.
And then I just found out about this book recently, but it's Batman Huntress Cry for Blood. And it's like very heavy Huntress in question. So like that one, I'm like, I can just get a trade of that. I'd be good with that. Be pretty sweet.
Yeah, if you can find one in print.
Yeah, right. And then the last one, this is the one that kind of made me think about this, is because there's this kaiju podcast I was listening to. They were talking about these different British kaiju monster movies. And Gorgo, I knew Gorgo and Congo had comics made off of them, but also Reptilicus. Gorgo and Congo were actually drawn by Ditko also,
Oh,
which is like pretty cool.
yeah.
And then Reptilicus was done by someone else, but it's like those would be pretty neat to see too. But yeah, that's mine. What are some weird grails for everyone listening though?
Yeah, let us know what your four weird grails are. Also, Reptilicus is one of the most metal names in all of kaiju
Yeah, right.
history.
Okay.
Reptilicus.
Okay, dude, I am sending you a link to a picture of War Hulk.
Okay, good. Because yeah, I could only find the World War Hulk one.
Yeah, and this cover is pretty sweet too. So send that to you too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, he's man, if you like put him and Metal Thor together, it's like that they could both be in a band together. I think Metal Thor would be, the front man and he'd be the drummer, and War Hulk would be the drummer, but it'd still be
Yeah,
pretty sweet.
and nobody would stop him.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's cool. The whip gets me. I love that.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode, folks. We hope you enjoyed the conversation. And we encourage you to add to the conversation. And you can do so on the following socials. You can check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/twoworldspodcast, over on X or Twitter
Or
at
Twixer.
Twixer at 2_worlds_PC, and on Instagram at 2worldspod. You can email us at twoworldspodcast@gmail.com. And if you would, head over to the YouTube channel. That's Two Worlds Podcast on YouTube. Subscribe, leave your comments there.
Yeah. Like I said, tell us what some weird grails you want, and like you're like, oh yeah, I really wish I could get the Sally comic from the old Sonic run.
That's a thing.
I trust me, I know. We looked at them at C2E2 together.
Yep. They're very expensive.
Yeah. And then here's another thing. Twix at C2E2 and be like, how dare you reject my two beautiful boys because we're and not give us media passes this year for C2E2.
Yeah, they actually denied us, folks.
Yeah. So we're gonna now try to be influencers.
It would be so fucking dumb if we got through on influencer.
Like, part of me thinks it's just kind of like a luck of the draw type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I really do. Like, I mean, unless you're like, like how Comic Vine was, or like, like Bleeding Cool or whatever, like where you're like a proper thing that's like, oh yeah, this is a big news source. But otherwise, I think they're like, yeah, okay, you got in for this way, that type of thing.
Yeah. I was just annoyed because I like went back through all of our episodes. I found the C2E2 one, dropped it in there because they asked for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I put in the work.
But we'd love to stay in chat, but we had a drumstick and our brain stopped ticking, and we watched the X-Files with no lights on, all amaze on. It's a really spooky one, this one. Harrison Ford's getting frantic. Yeah. Like I said.
Bye.